I'm Kim Ivers. I'm the Assistant Director here at the Southborough Library, and I'm going to take you through our story walk that's here on the library grounds today. Our story walk was put in May of 2021, and it was funded by the Southborough Community Fund. It is available all the time to come and walk, so whether or not the library is open, you can come and walk the grounds of the library and read the book. And the stories will get changed about every 3 months, so 4 times a year we'll have a new book in there. Today's book that we're going to read is called Bee-Wigged. It's written by Cece. It was published in 2008 by Candlewick Press. Hi there! Jerry Bee loved people. But people did not love Jerry Bee. For one thing, he was a bee. For another, he was the most enormous bee anyone had ever seen. A sting from a bee Jerry's size would really hurt. So people stayed away. It's true that Jerry was quite large, but he had never stung anybody in his entire life. In fact, he had tried so hard to make friends. He gave people free honey, but they got scared. He tried to give somebody a flower, but she ran away. And he tried to call and say buzz on the telephone, and they got scared. Nothing worked. One morning, Jerry saw an old wig lying on the sidewalk. Why not, thought Jerry, and he put the wig on his head. Just then, he heard a bus driver shout, "Young man, you're late for school." The bus driver stopped her bus, opened the door, and hollered, "Get in!" Jerry got on the bus. As Jerry looked at himself in the mirror, he had a wonderful thought. If he looked like a boy instead of a bee, maybe people would finally like him. Wow, he thought, this wig makes me look just like a boy. When the bus stopped, Jerry made a beeline for the school. He couldn't wait to make friends with all the people inside. Jerry entered the first classroom he could find. "Excuse me, ma'am," he said. "My name is Jerry, and I would love to join your wonderful class. And might I add that you are looking quite lovely today." Miss Swan was the first friend Jerry made that day. The students really liked Jerry, too. He was helpful, funny, artistic, and generous. He was even a terrific speller. He could spell F-R-I-E-N-D-S-H-I-P. By the end of the day, Jerry Bee had more friends than he had ever had in his life. So, Jerry decided to come to school every day. And every day, he made more friends. One day, he helped the janitor mop. The next day, he complimented the lunch ladies on their food. Jerry inspired the cheerleaders with his remarkable team spirit. Go team! He even won over the bus driver. 10-4, Ms. Driver, he said. He was the safety monitor. By the end of the week, everyone loved Jerry so much that they made him the Grand Marshal of the annual school parade. There were signs up that said, "Jerry, #1, we love Jerry." Jerry Bee was ecstatic. He couldn't believe how much the wig had changed his life. Then the wind started blowing. Hard, the wind blew Jerry's wig right off his head. He tried to catch it, but he was too late. Everyone saw Jerry without the wig, and everyone saw that he was the most enormous bee they had ever seen. "Wait!" shouted a voice. Please wait. It was the wig. I am Wiglet, a very hairy guinea pig. I have had the honor of sitting on Jerry's head for a whole week. Yes, Jerry is a bee. Yes, Jerry is enormous, but I have never seen Jerry sting anyone. Jerry is helpful, funny, artistic, and generous. I am proud to call Jerry my best friend ever. Everyone was quiet, and then... Hooray for Jerry Bee! Hooray for Wiglet! Hip hip hooray! Everyone shouted. It was the best day of Jerry Bee's life. At last he could be himself and have friends. And Wiglet would be his best friend forever. And I just wanted to read the author's note that Cece Bell wrote, and it says, Bee-Wigged is my favorite book of all the books I've done. It is also an autobiography, a fact that I didn't even realize until I held the book in my hands for the first time. Jerry Bee's story is my story. Of course, I wasn't a giant bee who wore a wig in order to look like a boy. But I was a kid who felt different from all the other kids. And I wore a big clunky hearing aid in order to hear more like they could. Like Jerry, I wanted very much to have friends. Like Jerry, I tried to be helpful, funny, artistic, and generous, and to be really good at spelling. Jerry's great fear was that his classmates would find out just how different he was, and that when they did, they would no longer wish to be his friend. I had the exact same fear, but thankfully, Jerry's wig turned out to be the very hairy guinea pig Wiglet, who reminds everyone how great Jerry is. And my hearing aid turned out to be something that my classmates really dug once they saw all the fun things I could do with it. Bee-Wigged is a story about accepting people and bees who might be different from you. It is also a reminder that being helpful, funny, artistic, and generous can go a long way in one's quest for friends. But don't worry if you aren't good at spelling. That doesn't matter, except when you forget the R in friends. Try not to call your friends your fiends. All right, thank you for sharing this book with me today. And if you'd like a copy to take home, we have this in the library, so you can come and check it out as well.